The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Good afternoon, traders. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Wonderful Wednesday to you, Dennis. Good to see you. Good afternoon, John. Talk hedges. Always a good time to talk about hedges, or at least the possibility. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Hope the spring is springing where you are. It's pretty nice here. It's a little cold still, but I don't mind it. Spring is in the air. Welcome out to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options. Closing bell. My name is Scott. I'm the head trading coach here at Tradespoon. I will be your host. If I could advance my slides. Anyways, my slides went back to the old ones. I thought it saved it. Trading for 24 years, teaching for 20. Oh, all that effort I went through. 84 in Orlando. That's hot. Probably humid as hell, too. I'm not a fan. Here's the disclosures. Be careful. Have a plan. Manage your risk. Manage your psychology. Be water, my friends. Oh, Tucker is out, isn't he? DeSantis is getting sued by Disney as the Florida spectacle continues. Ron DeSantis versus Disney. Interesting stuff. NASDAQ jumps, buoyed by Microsoft results. It jumped, but it's given a lot of it back. Not Microsoft. Microsoft's up 7%, which I think bodes well for Apple, and Microsoft and Apple doing well bodes well for the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ doing well bodes well for the market itself. However, we started positive. The S&P's now down 0.5%. The Dow's down 0.7%. The Russell down a full 1%. The NASDAQ's hanging on. I mean, let's just jump to it. When you see the map, it's 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, it's like 5, 6, 7 stocks keeping the whole thing afloat because of the size of them. Apple's neutral. Microsoft is bullish. Nvidia is bullish. Hi, okay, good to see you. Micron, Nvidia, AMD, those two are ones that we watch. Amazon, Meta, Starbucks. Oh, look at Chipotle Burrito Factory. The CMG Burrito Factory. Was that earnings today for CMG? Sure enough. Look at that. What a jump. 13.5%. Boy, that would have got you on a iron butterfly, iron condor. Would have got you. Man. Expecting 888. They got 1050. I'll tell you something, man. CMG is a profit machine. It's so funny because they opened one near my house down near the new Costco. I've only been to it like once. I used to go to Chipotle way, way, way more frequently. And now that I have one closer, I go to it way less. I don't get it. I like their food. Yeah, that's a big one. But here, remember what we talked about. The fact that right now we have a pretty good sense about the Fed and what they're doing and what they're looking for. We're seeing the inflationary numbers come down. So we said that earnings, corporate information is next, and we want to know. So far, it's been all right, right? I mean, of course, there's always going to be, but it looks fine. Everything's been going well, especially from the important ones. Meta is tonight, and Amazon, I believe, is a day later. Let's see. Meta reports tonight after market. Amazon is tonight, tomorrow after market. Yeah, there's a couple. All right, let's go back. What else is going on in Yahoo? Microsoft holding a lot of the cards in AI search war with Google. Okay. First Republic down another 30-something percent. Another bank getting stressed by the increased numbers. Boeing earnings mixed. McDonald's customers start to balk at prices. Yeah, they're like, no, come on, this is McDonald's. I agree, John. I think maybe a deeper focus on some of the, I believe it was Moody's that put out a list of 14 regional banks. Wells Fargo was on the list, which is no, was it not Wells Fargo? Zions was on the list. That'd be interesting. That's a local favorite. Zion. Yeah, look at that. I mean, not to the same level, but we may want to put together a list of like regional banks that look like they're stressing and failing because, I mean, right now it's overextended to the downside. But if this thing, hits 25, pops up, gets a few points, and then drops again, 20's in the cards. Bam. Yeah, puts for sure. That'd be interesting. Good call on bear call because you would want to be careful how you trade this, knowing that the volatility. Now, if it keeps dropping, it could keep pumping up, but you would want to take into account the fact that you're going to be seeing some expensive options on these bank stocks that are starting to show these stresses in them. Okay, so we have we still have some banking industry concerns. Chat GPT can predict stock market moves. New study shows Chat GPT surprisingly accurate. Well, that'd be an interesting. That would be an interesting experiment. I've been playing with that. Chat GPT and Bard. Bard is Google's AI. I've asked it some interesting questions, but yeah, I'm curious what it would say. I'm curious how are they measuring it though? Like, are you like, what will it go up in the next? I mean, are you using it like an 8-ball for like a specific, like a 1 day, 3 days, 10 days? The mechanism or the specific logistics behind it would be very important in order for me to consider it to be valid. First Republic handed out billions in ultra low mortgage rates to the wealthy, and now they're going bye-bye. I think that's about it. Market watch. Fed accident could slice 20%. I don't know what that's all about. So what do we have today? We had a surprising jump in home sales. 50,000 more than expected on Tuesday. Consumer confidence down, but not that much. Remember, I said for me, as long as we stay above 100. Durable good orders are up unexpectedly. Inventories are a little up. Tomorrow we'll get some GDP numbers. There's a little concern there. Not. I don't even know if I'd say concern, but remember we said if it gets above 250, the weekly jobless claims. If it gets to the high 200s, 270, 280, 290 for multiple weeks, 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row, more than one, one's not in a row, 2, 3 weeks in a row, then we would say, oh, there's some concern developing in regard to the labor aspect of the economy. It hasn't happened yet. It's just saying, hey, let's keep an eye on it, because as we said, anything below 250 is fine. And we are below 250, barely. But we're flirting. We're on the bubble. The model says a meandering down on the SPY. I would call that slightly bearish. If you're conducting market posture, let me know your score. I'm still positive and still what I would consider to be slightly bullish, but mine did ebb a little bit. If you are keeping track, I dropped from a 3 to a 2.5. So still barely holding on to what I would call slightly bullish. But yeah, I've seen it ease up a little bit, and that's exactly what the model is saying here, right? Saying that it's easing up a little bit. Well, guess what? It's April 26th. We didn't get as much of a rally as we would have liked in April, but we did get an April rally. And now, and we're going to see it here in just a minute, we have to be careful with sell in May, go away, and running into some summer doldrums. Let's see what the rest of the predictions look like. Here's QQQ. A little bit meandering sideways to down. Howdy, Bob. Good to see you. Here is DIA, the Dow. Slightly down. Very, very correlated amongst the three. The VIX is tough to say, yeah, we'll talk about it. Look at that. The only one that looks good is the Russell. Where is this coming from? The Russell's been lagging. I don't see it. Not yet. I'm not looking to trade something like this. It makes sense for me if we see this thing bounce and then do something like that. Then I'm like, yeah, I'm on board. But the way we're at these, we're back to these old lows. The IWM has been lagging. Nothing has changed that much at this point. So, yeah, I'm going to say there's not much there yet. Here is the... So, we did get this rally, but we've dropped. Normally, we see that drop come here in the 1st of May. But it looks like it came about a week early. And then from here, this just sort of kicks us into a 2-month sideways lull. And so am I concerned about 2 weeks of a sideways lull? Yeah, I am. We might look at some butterflies or some trades like that to put on and see what we can do to manage through this. So Yeah, let's take a look at. We may come back and do sector rotation. We looked at the heat map. You can see it's very isolated, the strength right now. In general, the market is having a really kind of a bad day, but it's being a little bit artificially propped up by some strength. Let's get in and look at current SPY on trend and candles. You can see we're down 0.5%. We've taken out this low right here. It was an old high, an old low, 406. Pretty important level. Yesterday we had good volume. Not good. Big volume. Increased volume relative to the selling pressure. So it certainly looks like the sellers are starting to make a little bit of some noise. Today we're seeing a little bit more follow through, and again, average is 72. We're at 55. I think it's going to dry up. The volume, but this is a lower low. It's a bit concerning. If my posture maintains, I'll be curious to see two things: A, how we finish the week; B, how it impacts my posture. Because the fact that we had an increased volume, my volume score is going to drop. The fact that we broke old support, my short-term trend score is going to pop or drop. The VIX rising, my volatility score is going to drop. If I have 3 drops, there's a good chance I go from slightly bullish to neutral in a day. We want to be thinking about that. We want to be thinking, how are we accounting for it as we are determining what to trade? Let's get a quiz and then we'll do the VIX. But I'll tell you what, it was looking fantastic right around lunchtime. Yeah. So it's been pretty nasty. So was there news that came out at 10? What was the statement? What came out today? Oh, nothing. Just sort of turned the corner. All right. Okay, I'm going to start with the C's today. C's, it's got to be new lows. I'm going to go right like that. A, B, C. And this is right at 404. And we'll call this 404.60. 60-cent range. Back above 404.60, you're bullish. Yep. Below it, you're a C. Brad started this off. No, John started us off with a C. Brad said C. John says actually C minus. C, lots of earnings to be afraid of. Dennis is a C. Jacques is a C. I don't know. I think we may rally off the bottom. I mean, it could fall tomorrow based on whatever earnings we have coming up. But I think that I'm going to go. What am I going to go? Angelique is an A. I'm going to go B. I think that we're going to. Carmen is a C. I think we're going to bounce up. We're going to test 405. And then we're going to bounce back down and end up around here, 404.50. 404.50. That's where I am. I erased it, but you should know still where it is. And let me go in and look at Stella. What does she say? Come on. My keyboard would work. There it is. Oh, still not working quite yet. Hold on. Goodness. SPY. Let's get this down to the intraday 1 hour of predictions. The model says we're going to end at 404.48. Oh, look at that. I didn't even look. I said it's going to go up, come back down. Stella says go up, come back down. We're in agreement. Stella's a B, I'm a B. Everybody else is a C. Nobody is an A, except Angelique. If we give her the customary treatment. All right. LK is a B. I missed that. She was on the morning call. I wonder if she's listening to the recordings. Angelique, if you're listening to the recordings, come on back, hang out, lend your perspective. Very nice. Good. I hope she's doing well. I hope she is doing well. All right, let's dive into the watch list and see what in the hell we think is going on. What watch list am I looking for? Yes, let's get it going. You can see Alcoa is at new lows. I mean, is it giving you a pinch, like a bottoming signal on the stochastics? Yes. Is that something that I want to trade bullishly? No. No, I don't. Thank you. Thank you for asking, but I do not. Apple looks great. For me, Apple is definitely, now we have earnings a week from now. But for me, I think it's stabilizing. It's 1 day from a turn. If tomorrow we get a bullish day, Apple's turning, I have time to put a trade on for a week. I have Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it reports on Thursday, but after market. Let me see. 5-4 after market. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, assuming it gives a signal tomorrow. Yeah. Looks great. On the list, Adobe looks a little iffy. We've kept on watching it, but it definitely looks a little bit iffy. Okay, let's keep going here. ADI, I gotta tell you, I like NVIDIA, but a lot of the chips just don't look very good right now. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much that we can say about it. It is what it is. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Archer Daniels got really. We were looking at Archer Daniels like, hey, this looks pretty good. The only problem is that earnings came and it gapped down real hard. So at this point, where are we? We're just kind of sitting on a low. There's really not much we can do with this. AMD, I don't love it. I do not love it. Amazon looks okay still. However, it's got earnings here in a day, so we're gonna probably have to wait for that one to finish up. Okay, let's keep looking. Nope. How did I jump to AXP? Where was I? No, that is where I was. Sorry. That is where I was. Boeing, there's nothing there for us yet. Alibaba continues to drop, and there's nothing there. Caterpillar. Okay, so this is something that I said I might be on the lookout for with Caterpillar when we have these big swings back to the upside. And it went from here all the way back up, and then it's come down. If I get a higher low, that would be something that I would consider taking, right? I would consider it. Let me see if I can erase my drawings here. There is CMG Burrito Factory looking pretty good. Okay, let's keep looking. Oil is just kind of meandering down. We thought energy was starting to pick up a little bit, but not yet. Costco, maybe. Maybe if Costco can stabilize a little bit. Okay, let's keep looking. Yeah, Costco for me, I do like consumer, and I think that discretionary has been showing well. So yeah, there's definitely something there. Cisco, I'm bouncing Cisco from the list. Maybe bearish if we kept a bearish list. Maybe we need to. Maybe we need to keep a bearish list for regional banks and a couple other things. Yeah, that might be something that we end up needing. DBC coming down. John Deere, same as Caterpillar. The higher low might be interesting. That might be something that we look into. Diamonds dropping. A true short list. Bob, you're not wrong. Disney. A lot of these are just kind of grinding it out. FCX, basic materials down a little too low. FedEx. I would actually still like the volume's dropping. It kind of went a little sideways. As long as this can stabilize by, I'd say even 215, but I'd prefer 220. If this can stabilize, then I think that there's some prospects to it. Let's see. FXI, not really feeling the materials. Gold is the same. Anyone trading precious metals? How do I see QQQ over the next few weeks? Is it overbought? Yeah, right now, not necessarily. Yeah, hold off a minute. We're going to get to, I think I have the Q specifically on here. Do I? I'll just jump ahead. No problem. I think it actually looks more oversold. Like if it can stabilize here, this looks viable. I think Microsoft looks strong. I think Apple looks viable. The chips not as much, but I think QQQ actually looks fairly bullish here. It just made new highs, kind of double top, but it never broke. The old high, new lows are holding. So I look at that and I think that it actually looks fairly reasonable. ERF and XOP, yeah, we'll take a look. Look at Starbucks. Starbucks gave a nice signal last week. On Friday, I think we talked about it on Friday as a potential. But yeah, it's popping. Silver's down. Semiconductors are down. The SPY is down. Tesla is down. Natural gas is trying to maybe figure some things out. We'll say trying. Okay. Oh man, UPS got smashed. They actually barely made it. They were expecting 219, they got 220. So they barely made it, but their guidance for going forward really showed a big drop off in representation of it dropping. Would Tesla be a buy at these lows? So remember, I'm not necessarily interested in buying at lows as much as I'm interested in buying at times when I think we're going to move higher. We're going to get to Tesla here. Oh, we already passed Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Right now, the sellers are firmly in control, and you can see what it does anytime it looks like the sellers are firmly in control. So if you look back, if I get everything's working a little clunky, just bear with me here. If you look back, sellers were in control. It tried to move up. When it went back to a same low, it invalidates that signal. And then it was more of the same. Then we finally had a little up, down, up process right here that could have given us more of a bullish idea of movement. But we don't, right now, all we have is new lows. I don't want to buy it because I think it's at a low. I want to buy it because I think it's bouncing up off a low. So we need a separate set of information to indicate that being the case. Okay. Now that I've drawn, it won't let me erase. There we go. UNG holding on. UPS getting killed. Visa's holding on. Right? Visa's holding on. Doesn't look great, but it's holding on. Here is the VIX. Like what information do I need? I need to see confirmation. I need to see that it goes to that the buyers make a big enough push that they're trying to gain control, and then the sellers don't do enough so that it ends up dropping back and failing, right? Vlad said the market's going lower. I mean, look, I'm not going to argue. My posture diminished from last week to this week. Diminished. The rate we're going, it's going to drop from this week to next week, right? So this Sunday, unless there's a dramatic shift over these last couple of days, there's a very good chance that my posture goes from 2.5 to 0.5 or 0, right? A very good chance that I see that, moving in that way. So, I would say I don't argue. I think the market very well could go into some sort of a consolidation range. Let's keep looking here. Let me get to my list. Verizon. A lot of things have gapped even prior to earnings. Financials. I don't know. I think it's still okay. My last low here. Let me look at these reference points. So I've clearly got this old level and I've got this old level. So I'm looking for support to occur somewhere in here, ideally in the top half of this range. And it's still viable. So I would say I'm going to be open to it, right? Okay, is GE making a lower low? Let's take a look. I'm going to open it up here. We'll have a little bit of extra time because we're a little bit in a quagmire here. Industrials getting beat up pretty hard right now. XLP actually looks pretty strong. Consumer staples is one of the stronger looking things from an ETF standpoint. I'm definitely thinking this might be where we end up trading here in the next few days, even possibly. XOY, more sideways. Starting to see defensive-oriented consumer stocks standing out relative to their discretionary counterparts. Okay, let's keep going. Yum brands look pretty strong, but a little overbought, maybe pulling back a little bit. There's not much. I think there's a little bit peripheral to Apple that might give an opportunity. But right now we're just kind of in wait and see mode, right? There's no rush, no clamor to put new trades on. Oh, I've got to hurry and trade. Let's take a look at GE. I'm not sure why it keeps jumping around. Let's take a look at GE. I like it. I don't think it's a lower low for me. So 2 lines I could draw here. Well, if I could draw lines, there we go. There's this line here. This line here and this line here. It's intersecting at a point that we would think is likely to turn into a support level, right? It's that's definitely happening. Yeah, I don't think there's much more than that. Let's see. Might be the end of the round. I agree. It could be. I mean, we're starting to sense things are showing some weakness, and that we definitely want to be careful about it. So, yeah, no, I agree with you there. I definitely agree. All right, the door's open. Throw your symbols at me. It's kind of a slow one today, right? We're waiting for a bit more earnings, maybe even waiting for what the Fed does. We may end it early today, but I'm going to open it up. Let's go see how the market's moving. Yeah, maybe we should create a short list. Let's maybe go into my watch lists. Create a watch list. And we'll say bears. The bears. Bears. Let's get them out there. So you can throw stock at me to look at. But Amazon earnings are coming soon. They are. They're tomorrow. And the stock looks pretty good right now. So I'm going to wait and watch on that one, see what happens. I'm going to put Zion on this list. Let me just give me a second. On the other screen, I'm going to okay. Okay. Can I take a look at ATLX? Absolutely. ATLX. Whoops, I added it to my watch list. Sorry, I was creating a watch list on the other page. Let me save it. We'll add to it possibly as we go. ATLX. Amazon is one that's coming up. I like Amazon. I think the earnings, we'll see what happens with it, but I like the way that trend looks. ATLX. Someone else said GDX, gold miners. ATLX, lithium looks great. It's shooting up like crazy, but it's overextended. We probably want to wait and see if this thing makes a pullback at this point. Okay, GDX, the miners. Take a look at the gold miners. GDX and or GDXJ. That actually looks pretty good, other than the big bearish engulfing pattern today. Big bearish engulfing pattern on low volume, so I'm not super worried if I was in it. But I would say that it looks like it's still trying to figure some things out as it, as it goes from there. Okay. Anyone else? Let's take a look at the SPY. Oh, I'm going to add Zion. Anyone? I might have to go in and look up those 14 regional banks and see which one of them trade good options and add it to the list. Yeah, see what it says. See what it says. Okay. Back to the other watch lists. Bulls. Let's go SPY. Yeah, I mean we're looking to close at or near the low range, although it does look like bees are gonna. We're bouncing off that low. It looks like the bees are trying to get themselves a win. Yeah. Well, tell me this. Give me a temperature check. Are you trading well? What have your concerns been within context of this market? Obviously, it's still a bit jittery and jumpy. We know that. Great. Are your trades lasting long enough or too long? Are your earlies early enough or too early? Inquiring minds want to know. How does it look? It's quiet out there. I do recognize that. It's quiet. It's a difficult market to trade. Hell yes. Yeah, we can't seem to when you think about the posture process, the best markets to trade are any market where it's sustainable. If we see our market posture get up to a 4 and then stay 4, 5, 6 for months at a time, 3, 4 months at a time, then we're just going to be cashing in on money flow coming into a new range of stocks. Every time it feels like or looks like that's going to happen, it just sort of eases up and we don't get exactly what we need. And so yeah, and I 100% agree with you. Definitely a market. My market. Are you asking what market posture is or what my market posture is, Randall? There's a segment, and I don't have time to go find it, but I will find the date. But there is a segment in the old. I'll show you. In the old event recordings. This is from the Active Investor Workshop. You can see it's been almost a year since we shut those down. But you can see this. Oh no, it's right there. Market posture, April 26th. April 26th. And what I do is I keep track of. This is just kind of a representation. I just started this new spreadsheet here. But what I do is I go in and I analyze each component of these different aspects of the market one at a time, and then I put it all together. And then as my score gets up and down, it helps me to understand what's getting better, what's getting worse, and how is it tradable. So I would say if anyone is interested in a routine that you can run on a weekly basis, I tend to do mine on Sundays. And it just sort of helps keep me apprised of market conditions. Remember, and I say this a lot, if what you're seeing and what you're using for market turns and to assess what's going to happen next is easy to read and easy to find, then it's easy for everybody to read and everybody to find, and its value is minimal. If you want an analysis that's good and easy to read, make sure that you keep that consistent. Now, as far as the market posture goes, I'm doing a consistent routine every Sunday where I analyze long-term trend, short-term trend, volume, major market analysis, which is the Dow, the Nasdaq, the Russell, the S&P. I'm doing a sector rotation analysis, and I'm looking at the volatility. And at the end of all that, I have my posture, and I would say, that it's, that posture is what helps guide, what sectors I'm looking in, how long my trades last. Do I tighten my stops early? Do I take profit early? How much everything that I do from day to day really falls under the purview of this umbrella. So I would say, yeah, go in, watch the workshop, and you'll be in line with us talking about it when we discuss it. Okay, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call. Oh, look at that! Look at that little rally. That's daily, or that's the 1 minute. That's the daily. Let's find something in the middle. 5 minute. Well, it rallied right through. It rallied right through the B range into the A range. Angelique will win a gold medal without even having attended in months. But yeah, a little rally into the close makes it even just a little bit harder to get a good sense of what it's doing here. Here's what I would say. If you don't have a good sense of what it's doing, then manage your risk well, right? Don't take unnecessary levels of risk. Make sure you know exactly why you have the number of trades you have and where your stop losses are, when you're going to move them, when you're going to take profit. The more uncertain the market, the more certain our our trade management plan needs to be. Take a look at that posture. We'll be back Monday morning. I won't see you tomorrow, but I will. Or excuse me, Friday morning. I won't see you tomorrow, but I will see you Friday morning. We'll chat about it. We'll take a look. We'll have some coffee, and we'll see where it puts us. So no winners today. No winners today. Crazy. I almost went A, but I said, you know what? It's going to fall. I'm going to go B. It didn't fall. What are you going to do? Thanks, everybody. It's good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you Friday, as always. Happy trading.